So I'm beginning to realize that, right conduct, it's like a way of beautifying our presence. Those jolly wise people, they make the world brighter. They've seen the value of the Buddha's teaching and have put it into practice, and they've practiced it well. And thereby they encourage others. What are these good practices? Well, they're explained in a few different places. I like Mahayana stuff, and here is a beautiful Mahayana text. It's the Perfection of Wisdom in 8,000 lines. And I just read this other sutra called the Buddhabhasita Dasabhadra Karmamarga Sutra, in which these 10 are also described, these 10 right practices. And not only do we observe them ourselves, but we instigate others to observe. That's an important point. By sharing on the internet, that's what we're doing. We're helping. We observe and we instigate others to observe that abstention from taking life, from stealing, from wrong conduct as regards sensual pleasure, from intoxicants, substances that cloud the mind, abstention from lying speech, abstention from malicious speech, abstention from harsh speech, abstention from indistinct prattling, abstention from covetousness, abstention from ill will, abstention from wrong views. This is from the Perfection of Wisdom in 8,000 lines. It continues, "It is quite certain that an irreversible bodhisattva observes the 10 ways of wholesome action and instigates others to observe them, incites and encourages them to do so," which is what we're doing here now. So, that's what's up. So the idea is that there are many forms, many patterns that we have assumed due to our karma. It's malleable. Birth in the various realms is due to past actions, intentions, speech, thoughts. It all matters. There's a set of meritorious dharmas, teachings that if we practice will have certain effects upon our being. Normally we hear about 5 precepts lay people take in Buddhism. Here, this book describes 10, and it's also just like the Perfection of Wisdom in 8,000 lines that I read earlier today. Similar precepts. Why are they called the meritorious dharmas? Because they are fundamental religious duties, by practicing which all men, devas, arhats, pratyeka Buddhas, and supremely enlightened Buddhas attain their respective fruits. It is by practicing these 10 meritorious things that we are called truly great. The 10 meritorious dharmas are the 10 meritorious deeds. What are they? They are abstinence forever from killing, stealing, unchaste conduct, sexual misconduct, lying, slandering, harsh language, frivolous talk, covetousness, anger, and heretical views, wrong views, deluded views. These would be teachings that run counter to the Buddha's assertions. So the Buddha is talking to a king of dragons, and he says, "Your Majesty, you should understand thoroughly the law of cause and effect, and as a rule practice good deeds. Make this your constant study and practice, and make all sentient beings to do likewise." Notice how self and other are being considered. I've seen more than a few people suggest that we're just not supposed to consider other people's path. That makes sense to a degree. Like, we're not supposed to sit here in judgment, constantly poking at people's weaknesses. Sure, but part of being an admirable friend is offering gentle and wise admonition. And so then the Buddha tells this king of dragons that there is one way for the Bodhisattva to annihilate all sufferings of evil existence. It's by practicing these 10 meritorious deeds. And then the sutra breaks it down. It breaks down each of the 10 meritorious deeds, and it shows the result of these practices. For example, he who abstains from killing will attain 10 means in warding off evil passions, or the kleshas. He who abstains from stealing will gain 10 advantages, which will preserve his faith in the Dharma. He who abstains from unchaste conduct, sexual misconduct, will attain 4 qualities, the possessing of which is commended by the wise. He who abstains from lying will attain 8 qualities, the possessing of which is commended by the devas. He who abstains from slandering will attain 5 incorruptible qualities. It's an exponential expansion of awesomeness. Each branch has many more branches.